Hello, it's Miss Miranda back with another video. Today we're learning about Murano Glass. Today we're also going to be learning how to use our watercolor palette. So what is Murano Glass? Venetian glass is glassware made in Venice, typically on the island of Murano near the city. Traditionally, it is made of soda-lined metal and it is typically elaborately decorated with various hot glass forming techniques, as well as gilding, enamel, or engraving. And here we're just looking at some of the glass, and you can see that a lot of the glass is overlapping. It's creating a lot of different colors as we see it. So as we create our own artwork today, make sure that we are overlapping it. Make sure that we can see those colors being made by the glass being on top of each other. So how is it made? When making the glass, they mix other materials, which gives it its funky colors and vibrant designs. The resulted liquid glass mixture is then mouth-blown and then handcrafted by master glassmakers. They use tools to mold, shape, and polish the glass to create unique and beautiful designs. For this recent high-end Murano glass is called art glass. And we notice that this Murano glass has very vibrant colors and lots of really intricate little designs. Now remember, our goals for today is I can learn how to use my watercolor paint and I can use my primary colors to create artwork inspired by Murano glass. Our standards that we're hitting today are 11 and 5. So hello guys. This is going to be our drawing portion of our video, of course, and today we're doing Murano glass inspired work. You can see it'll kind of turn out like this. I'm hoping that we can get 6 on here and not just 5. So let's see if we can do that today. We could draw with any materials that we have, but if you'd like to, you could draw with a gray or black crayon. I could use a gray one. I lost my black one, but gray or black, or you can even use a pencil. But to get a little wax resistance, I'm going to be using a crayon today. We're going to want to start off with our paper, a landscape, just like this. Then we're going to give our landscape piece of paper a good old horizon line. I'm going to want it lower down on my paper. I'm not going to want it in the middle. I'm going to want it pretty low so our vases have a lot of space. And for our vases, we can draw all types of shapes. I'm going to be drawing a couple of shapes for us. Of course, you can draw your own unique shapes if you'd like, or you can follow along with me. The first shape that I'm going to be creating will be a nice, tall, big vase. Kind of looks like a 3. I go in, I go out, oop, I go down. Next one I want to draw will be something short. I'll kind of draw. I want them really connecting with each other. So I'm kind of drawing them like overlapping. I really want them to overlap, so when we do our watercolor on top, we get the overlapping of color as well. I'll draw this one. That's okay if they're not perfect. That's 3. I think we might only be able to fit 5, and that's okay. I could draw just another little one. Or this will be my 5th one. I'm gonna draw a nice skinny top, a nice wide bottom. Next, going to be adding some simple details. Of course, we can leave them blank just like this, but if you want to, we can add some nice simple details. I like to give them some little swirls. Let's give it some little design. This one I'll give it some little curl swirls. Maybe like a line. Whatever we really feel like. There you go. So far, that is mine. The next step, of course, we're going to be using our watercolor today. You can see my watercolor palette is already a little wet. And for this project, of course, we're only going to be wanting to use the smallest amount of water. I'm going to really be focusing on my palette today. Our palettes, some of ours may look different, but most of us will have this one. And what you want to do, you want to take your brush, take your small amount of water. I just cut off the top of a water bottle. You can see I dip my brush in there and I wipe it off on the side. I don't want too much. And of course you can always have a paper towel next to you. But I dip my brush into my water. Gently tap off the excess. Put my brush in there. I want it to look just like this. I want it to be just a little watery. You can see it's turning yellow. All I do is kind of put a little bit of water in there, just a little bit. Mix it in there. I want just like a teeny tiny puddle. Emphasis on a teeny tiny puddle. I'm going to take my first one. I'm going to paint it yellow. I'm going to try to have this in the frame with me. There we go. I'm just going to try to paint it all yellow. I try to stay in the lines. You can tell you need more once it starts getting hard to push. Like there you go, see? It's getting hard to push, so I want a little bit more. I want to make sure that we're treating our brushes very gently. So notice how I'm gently brushing on it. I'm not scrubbing it. If your brush looks like that, that is not the way you want to treat your brush. You want to make sure we're very nice to our brush. We're very gentle, almost as if we're tickling the paper, just very lightly. We're gently tapping on that, or gently brushing on all of our color. Being very mindful of that. I try not to use that much water. You can see my paper is not soaked. So I try to be very conservative with the water. That means I don't want that much water on it. The next color, of course, I'm going to take is blue. I'm just taking a little bit of water and dabbing it in there. See, I want a teeny tiny puddle. I'll take my blue. I'm going to be painting this one blue. And the point is to overlap. So you will start to overlap. And you'll start to see the colors overlapping. And that's what we want. And we're going to start to see that creation of a new color. We know what our primary colors make. It is our secondary colors. And so make sure that we are filling in all of that vase. So once again, you know our primary colors. Our primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. It's something that we've learned earlier this year. And next I'm going to be taking my red. Remember, I just want a little teeny tiny puddle. I'm coloring in my vase red. I'm doing that overlapping. I'm following those lines. So I want to get in there. And what we'll start to see the creation of those colors. Like right there, I'm starting to see purple. Yes, I understand that we may have those colors in our palette already, but it's always important to learn how to mix your colors as well. Oops. And of course, the more water you use, the lighter your color is, and the less water you use, the darker your color is. But I don't want colors that are pitch black. I want colors that are fairly light, so we want to use a good amount of water. Remember, we want tiny little puddles, nothing too crazy. Next, I'm going to take my yellow again. Paint this all yellow. I'm even going to overlap. If you like to, you can always paint the part that is not going to be overlapped first, and then paint your overlap parts. But I kind of just go yellow. I just kind of go in and do it. And you can see I accidentally got over my line, and that's okay. We all make mistakes. Mistakes are okay. So there I am. And the color that I'll end on, I'm going to end on blue. So I'm grabbing my blue. And you can see I'm being very gentle. I hold my paintbrush like a pencil. You can hold it like this, but I like to hold mine really far away. I'm very gentle. I add color and water as I think I need to. I'm trying to be very careful and stay in the lines. The crown kind of helps, but if you're using a pencil, you have to be extra careful. Okay, I gotta try to finish this up. There we go. So this is my artwork. It is all nice and done. I'm going to let it sit and to dry, but first I am going to sign my work. I like to sign it with my first name. You can put your last name. And then you can put the year, 2021. There you go. Hope you guys had a fun time doing this. And of course, if you don't have watercolor or you can't do it with watercolor, you can do it with marker. I did this one with marker. You can even do it with crayon. This will turns out really good with marker. You can see the overlapping colors. So marker, crayon, either one of those. Of course, you can also do it with your watercolor. So thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.